By the way, I should tell you, I filmed this video before Series 9 started. So that's why I'm not talking about what happened in The Witch's Familiar in this. I will make an update. Once more crazy stuff happens, I will make an update to clear it up even more. But for now, this episode does not contain what happened in The Witch's Familiar. And in fact, I'm filming this clip right after The Woman Who Lived just aired. So if anything happens from The Woman Who Lived till the series finale, then I don't include that either. So yeah, so just keep in mind this was filmed before Series 9 started. So yeah. Okay, see ya.
So every Doctor Who fan is arguing over if the War Doctor counts, or the Mediocresis Doctor counts, or the Valyard counts, or whatever. And pretty much a lot of whovians have already figured out where the Doctor stands in his regeneration. But I think that there may be a lot of whovians who are still questioning about that. So I'm just going to clear that up for those who don't really understand it. Ever since the 4th Doctor, we have learned that a Time Lord can regenerate 12 times, which totals up to 13 lives. And as the Doctor was getting close to his 12th incarnation, the BBC realized that he was close to his 13th life. And so they need to figure out something, so then they made a big 50th anniversary year, which messed everything up and confused everyone. So in the 50th anniversary special, we're introduced to the War Doctor, who is an incarnation who fought in the Time War. And many people were wondering if he actually counted. And the answer is yes. Yes, he does count. He didn't call himself the Doctor, but it was still an incarnation of himself. The 8th Doctor regenerated into the War Doctor, or 9th Doctor, and then the War Doctor regenerated into the 9th Doctor, or the 10th Doctor, which kind of bumped all the Doctors up. Then the 9th Doctor became the 10th Doctor became the 11th, and the 11th Doctor became the 12th. But does that mean that Peter Capaldi would be the final incarnation of the Doctor? No, he wouldn't. Remember back in that episode, The Stolen Earth and Journey's End, where the 10th Doctor regenerated, but then absorbed the regeneration energy into his hand or something and managed to come back with the same face? Well, that does indeed count as a regeneration. Sure, I mean, that would mean that the 10th Doctor would have played 2 incarnations of the Doctor. So what? Sylvester McCoy sort of also played 2 incarnations of the Doctor. He also played the 6th Doctor when they made him don a wig over his head. But the whole point is that means that, well, let me put it this way. The first incarnation is the 1st Doctor. The second incarnation is the 2nd Doctor.
The 3rd incarnation is the 3rd Doctor. The 4th incarnation is the 4th Doctor. The 5th incarnation is the 5th Doctor. The 6th incarnation is the 6th Doctor. The 7th incarnation is the 7th Doctor.
The 8th incarnation is the 8th Doctor. The 9th incarnation is the War Doctor. The 10th incarnation is the 9th Doctor. The 11th incarnation is the 10th Doctor. The 12th incarnation is the 10th Doctor. 13th incarnation is the 11th Doctor. And that would mean that the 14th incarnation is the 12th Doctor, Peter Capaldi. Which is all cleared up in the Christmas special because, spoiler alert, well, technically this entire thing is technically a big spoiler. Anyway, so in the Christmas special, the Doctor was donated a whole new regeneration cycle. Many people are arguing if this means that he can only regenerate 1 more time, so the Doctor is currently still out of regenerations, or if he can regenerate 12 times all over again. And chances are he can regenerate 12 times all over again, because otherwise the BBC is going to keep on having to make stories where the Time Lord sends him new regenerations. And also in Kill the Moon, when the 12th Doctor was just trying to confuse some people who were trying to shoot him, he claimed that he wouldn't be dead because he'd keep on regenerating, and he had no idea if he'd just keep on regenerating forever. Many people question about the Valyard too, who we met in the 6th Doctor's era, and he was said to be in between the 12th and 13th incarnation of the Doctor. Not really. he was confirmed to be in between the 12th and final incarnations of the Doctor. Now we know that his 13th incarnation is not his final incarnation. But even if it was between the 12th and 13th incarnations, I still don't think that it would count as regeneration. It's kind of just like when the 10th Doctor was standing in his TARDIS about to regenerate with no spare hand, he would just regenerate, and the Valiard kind of popped up as an Easter egg in the middle of his regeneration and became a dark side. I don't really know. It confuses me too, but no, I do not think that it would count as a regeneration. He's just a mysterious, dark version of himself, hidden between these 12th and final incarnations. Though, if you rewatch The Name of the Doctor, the Great Intelligence told the Doctor that the Valiard was going to be one of his greatest enemies in the future, so that means that we may possibly see the Valiard again in Series 9, or Series 10, or Series 11, or something. I hit my nose. Oh. Sorry, trouble with time traveling thing. Never mind, just keep playing the video. And about the Watcher and the Dream Lord, well, again, just like the Valiard, they're not really incarnations of the Doctor. The Watcher was just a hidden incarnation, hidden Easter egg, I should say, to let the 4th Doctor know that his long life is almost at the end and he's somehow the 5th Doctor. And the Dream Lord was just a darker side of the Doctor, not really an incarnation or regeneration at all. So the Watcher, the Dream Lord, the Valiard, you can just all cross them off your list of incarnations for the Doctor. And then the Curse of the Fatal Death Doctors and the Doctor from Doctor Who the movies and the Shalka Doctor, they're not really doctors from the main storyline of Doctor Who. They were just spoofs. The Doctor Who the movie thing, I don't really know why they made it. It may have just been for fun. The Curse of the Fatal Death was pretty much just to make fun of the show and to give a possible this is what happened after the show got cancelled to the Doctor. And then Scream of the Shalka was made in 2003, saying like, just after this show got cancelled, here's just a little one last adventure thing for you to get out of him. The 8th Doctor regenerates into this guy. And then in 2005, they just dropped the entire thing and started with the 9th Doctor or 10th Doctor all over again. And then finally, we have the faces from the brain of Morbius, where Morbius and the Doctor were battling their minds, and we saw pictures. We saw a picture of the 4th Doctor, followed by the 3rd Doctor, then the 2nd Doctor, and then the 1st Doctor. Then all of a sudden we see more and more faces. First of all, I'm sure that the BBC is right now regretting that they ever did that, because like when that episode was made, it wasn't really, they never really confirmed that a Time Lord has 13 lives. So they just said, oh, it's possible that the Doctor that we saw in An Unearthly Child was not the 1st Doctor. But if we're going to canonize this whole thing, well then, here's what I would say. Remember, Morbius was in that battle too. So why haven't we seen any of his faces? So probably after we saw the 1st Doctor, then they started showing all of Morbius's previous faces. So that's my theory. Again, you should not take this on as a fact. But in Let's Kill Hitler, didn't River Song donate all of her remaining regenerations to the Doctor? This question I really don't like answering because I don't even understand it either. I mean, like, right before the Christmas special, I actually thought to myself, okay, the 10th Doctor regenerated in the Stolen Earth and Journey's End into himself. That could make Matt Smith the 13th incarnation, but River Song also donated all of her regenerations. If one of those things comes true during the Christmas special, I'll be happy. And one of those things did come true. The 10th Doctor regenerating in the Stolen Earth and Journey's End did count as a full regeneration. But then that still leaves me pondering, then what happened to the regeneration that River Song donated to the Doctor? Well, there are many different theories that people could come up with. Here's one of my theories. Again, you don't have to consider it true, it's just my theory. So Riversong started out as a child, and then when she grew up into a toddler and got sick, she regenerated. And then she came back as another child who spent time with Amy and Roy. So that was one regeneration. So she has 11 left. And then, when she was a student, she regenerated again into Riversong after being killed in World War II. So that's another regeneration, so now she has 10. Then Riversong jumps out of the building and gets shot and sort of regenerates, but because of that she only had just regenerated, it kind of got confused and she just got to keep her same face. I don't know if that would count, but to me it does, so that would be 3 regenerations. So then she has 9. Then when the Doctor is dying, she gives up all of her 9 regenerations to the Doctor. And then in order for the Doctor to come back to life, he'd have to use up one of those regenerations, leaving 8 regenerations left. But then he gets shot by an astronaut in a Tesselecta form. Well, think about it. He's going to have to force himself to regenerate, as well as project some of that regeneration energy into the Tesselecta to make it look like the Tesselecta is regenerating. And then he's going and that's going to use up a lot of regenerations, which may narrow it down to like 4 or 3. And then he's going to have to stop his regeneration suddenly, which I don't know if that would use up a lot, but I think that would be kind of weird for you to just regenerate and then force yourself to just stop. I think that might use up another regeneration or 2. And I would think that would narrow it down to about 1 regeneration. About 1 regeneration left, all because of that stupid Tesselecta thing. So much for staying alive. And then, finally, in The Angels Take Manhattan, when Riversong broke her wrist, the Doctor grabbed her wrist and donated his final regeneration to Riversong to heal her wrist, leaving it down to 0 regenerations. So we had no more left in the time of the Doctor. And he used up all of his and all of Riversong's until the Time Lords kindly give him a new regeneration cycle. Again, I don't... if you guys don't agree with me, then that's fine. You can leave your theory in the comments below. This is just a theory of mine. It's not supposed to be considered as a fact. And now finally, what was with that creator guy that Matt Smith met in the museum thingy? Because the Doctor meets an older version of the 4th Doctor. But when the 4th Doctor regenerated, he was much younger than that. So what happened there? Well, I think that's kind of obvious, and probably a whole bunch of people agree with me on this one, is that when the Doctor walks up to the Creator and lets him know, "I never forget a face," he replies, "I know you don't, and you may find yourself revisiting a few, but just the old favorites, eh?" That could mean that in future regenerations of the Doctor might turn into faces that he already had. Like, this gives, like, all the other actors, like doctors like Paul McGann, Tom Baker, of course. I don't know, but this gives them all, like, a second chance to play the Doctor, so that in future incarnations of the Doctor, he'll regenerate into faces that he have already had. And then grow old. And then another proof in the conversation is then the Creator says, "If I were you," and then chuckles a bit and then says, "If I were you," again, before saying, "Or perhaps you were me," claiming that he is probably a future incarnation of the Doctor. So this could get interesting. I think that just about covers everything. If there's something that I may have missed, please leave it in the comments below, and I'll try to answer it. So I hope this helped for anyone who was confused about the regeneration limit, and I hope that you all understand now. But I have to admit I'm still a bit confused, and I think that there might be still more things about his regeneration limit that we haven't understood yet. So, thank you for watching. Please like this video if this cleared things up for you, or if you just enjoyed watching this video. And please subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos like this. I'm probably going to make tons of Doctor Who reviews and other reviews. And I'll see you next week. Bye. Ever since the 4th Doctor, we have known that a Time Lord can regenerate up to 13 times. No, sorry. Okay, blooper.